There's not a single network in America that would have devoted that much time to Texas redistricting, and ain't gonna be the only time, but also a black-owned product. I ain't gonna name no names, but I've seen numerous prominent black accounts post, and see, we ain't doing it. I'm not gonna run it because they ain't getting that free. I've seen numerous prominent black social media accounts post that Ralph Lauren video.
Yes, sir.
Not
Yes,
even
sir.
realizing they're giving
Yes, sir.
them free advertisers. Ralph Lauren does not, I need everybody listening to what I'm about to say right now. Ralph Lauren does not have to spend a single dollar advertising its collection because black folk have given them millions of dollars of free publicity by running the video, showing the clothes, all that sort of stuff. We did it for context's sake, but you see, we didn't spend all that time on it. And see, Robert, that's the thing that we don't get. We are literally giving it away for free. Robert's frozen. All right, I'm gonna go to Greg. Greg, go ahead. You're on mute.
Roland,
There you go.
I can't. Am I? Oh, no, I think they had me muted. Yeah. Listen, brother. Again, not again. Tonight was special. It really was. Both those stories put it exactly where it needs to be. We are in a country now, the United States, that's about to be fundamentally renegotiated, whether we want it to be or not. The desperation of this Trump administration is just the tip of the spear of the larger desperation. When you wrote in White Fear about the nature of white fear, you named what we are seeing right now. How we react to it was the second hour. It's got to be self-determination, and it can't stop at the shores of the United States of America. Brother, I can't even express to you what this does for my soul, because there are moments when, and this is for everybody listening, when you feel and see the thing that's in your spirit, you recognize that that's the road we have to be on. I wasn't kidding when I said, when I saw them drop the thing in Atlanta at the AUC with Morehouse and Swim, I called some of my friends who were on faculty, some of them who were in the marketing campaign. I said, what are y'all doing? They said, well, we want to support this, and it's important for us. No problem. And as I said, when Jordan came to Howard and Nike came to Howard, everybody went, and they called me and said, well, do you want to be? No, you won't catch me dead in any of that. And when they gave out all that free stuff, and those young people gave more free advertising to Jordan Brand and Nike than you can imagine, I said, are we that dense? And I'm talking about some well-intentioned people in both those spaces who wanted to do something for Black people. And then, as you say, when this thing dropped, this Martha's Vineyard thing, I'll be butt naked. I promise you, before I wear a stitch of that. But when this comes back to the Black Star Network, brother, this brother Lanny Smith and what he's doing with that small number of employees that he has that is now growing, the connection with the Nigerians, that expression of Pan-Africanism, reaching elders like Cecil Williams and John Carlos. And that's actually how my sister Gussie, she was working with John Carlos to help put that together. That's how I first found out about Lanny Smith. And then my point is coming to this. In our heart, we know. But when we don't think we can win, we start making deals. You haven't made a deal, Ro. You didn't step out on faith, although faith was present. You stepped out on knowledge and the certainty that when we do what you did, we will win. Lanny stepped out on that same thing. It wasn't just faith, it was education, and it was knowledge and certainty that we will win. And what happens when that happens? I promise you, brother, next year, 5 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, as this thing is renegotiated, crumbles, and is remade in different places, you're going to look like a prophet. Lanny going to look like a prophet. Because the thing that we can do that we have done before, we're going to do it again. Listen, every time he drops something, and you know, I'm an educator, so I ain't got that kind of money, but I promise you right now, I'm going to get it. And when you have that signal, it's like the nod in the airport that you get. It's like the acknowledgement on the bus or walking down the street when we see each other and we do that head nod. That's the equivalence of. Our victory is certain, brother. We just got to stay on this path. And thank you for the Black Star Network, because we wouldn't be having this conversation anywhere else. And this is what's going to free us.
So here's what I need people to understand. First of all, Robert's signal is frozen, so we appreciate Robert being on the show. Here's what I need everybody to understand. We could have made the segment all about Ralph Lauren and Polo and Oak Bluffs and Martha's Vineyard and get caught up all in that. But no, focus on the Black-owned brand. There's a reason we have shopblackstarnetwork.com. Give me a shout of that. There's a y'all, these are all Black-owned products that's sitting to my right. We use toilet paper, we use tissue, we use barbecue sauce, we use relish, we use cocktail mixes, we do popcorn, we buy apparel. We do all of that. That's why they shop blackstarnetwork.com. Y'all hear me say this all the time. The only way these things change is when we become intentional with our actions. Intentional. I could have said, give me the lowest price of a green screen. No. In our marketplace segment, we actually had this Black-owned drapes company. And I said, hey, we gonna have a green screen in our next studio. They said, we can make that for you. Done. I didn't put that out for bid. I said, done. It's intentionality. And this is what our people have to understand. We can't keep complaining about the condition that we are in. Listen to what I'm saying. We can't complain about the condition that we are in if we're unwilling to have a counter that then removes the condition. YouTube literally told me, y'all, I'm not making this up. YouTube literally told me Black news will not work. They were funding all sorts of different things. In fact, when George Floyd was murdered, YouTube put out an announcement that they were going to spend $100 million worth of content for Black content creators. And we saw that, and my frat brother and I, Todd Brown, co-founder of Urban Edge Network, we immediately called. I had done this project for them, and I sent an email to the chief revenue officer. He put me in contact with the person. We were on the phone, and the woman who was on the phone said they didn't have a plan yet. They literally had no plan. Like, no plan. They were still working through it. Here's the story right here. This was in Variety. Right here. YouTube creates $100 million fund for Black creators and artists, and so sets fundraiser special hosted by Common and Keke Palmer. I said, y'all, this thing went all over. So we called, and they said, oh, we don't have a plan yet. Well, then the woman tells us she had worked at other places, and they had all these budgets, and she didn't have one. So you know what ended up happening? She actually, it was her idea, 50 million of the 100 million went to her department. And the other 50 million went to content creators. So one of the things that they did, they did these big old specials. I mean, again, I participated in one of them, these big old specials. And I was like, they probably spent $3, $5, $6 million on this thing, and it did maybe 1 million views. And I said to them, I said, do you know what you could have done? You could have taken the same 5 million and literally given $500,000 to 10 Black content creators, and you would have generated more views than you did with that whole deal. You would have funded 10, and I walked through the whole thing, and they were like, shit, you're right. But that wasn't the intention. So we do this to be intentional so you are aware of what's going on. And we could have talked about Trump, some other bullshit, talked about Jeffrey Epstein, talked about also, I'll save it for Monday, these crazy ass Karens. But what I need our people to understand is that if we did not have this conversation with Actively Black today, you were not going to see it on ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, Fox News, any of these networks. You're not going to see it on any of the, and in fact, you're going to have black people, and I got nothing against Abby Phillip or any, who will clip some crazy shit that Scott Jennings said on her show and put it on. See, it's the same thing. Y'all, it's the same. See, y'all, it's the same thing. It's the same cycle. We will clip something on CNN, but not clip Roland Martin Unfiltered. We will be seen wearing a Louis, but we're not going to carry a black luxury product. I'm telling y'all.
Can I
go? This.
Can I just say?
Yeah, I do this for a living. When I wear something black on, man, what's that? What's that? Got from so-and-so. Go to their website. Imagine if your top 100 black celebrities did that. You would change the economic climate of black-owned businesses overnight. Greg, go ahead.
Absolutely. I didn't want to interrupt you, brother. Because I know you won't say this, but I want to say this to you and to everybody with you listening. Not only will they do that, what you'll see now with Actively Black, as a result of what you've done tonight, you will see other black content creators who've now become aware of Actively Black, who watch your show, platform Actively Black, and not mention you. Go on.
Yeah, and it's like,
which is okay, but I'm just saying they're not gonna connect to the Yes, I'm just saying that to you because I want you to hear that.
Yeah, and I just want people to understand that you can literally, everything we're talking about, we can literally change the paradigm. We can literally change it. I am not saying that black people alone, because here's what we know. When we create stuff, they also buy it. They buy it too, because when they see us wearing it, they want to wear it. So this is Actively Black is not for blacks only. It's not. We can change the game. I just want us to understand power's in our hands, but we cannot complain about what we're not getting when we won't even support our own. And that was the whole point of the first story. You can't complain about what you don't get politically if you don't vote. And you can't complain about why we don't have a $1 billion black retail apparel business when you're giving your money to Ralph Lauren and Nike and you're ignoring Actively Black and other black companies. It's as simple as that. Greg, thanks a bunch. I want to thank Robert and Nola for also being on today's show. Folks, this is why this show was created. I said when I turned TV One down, I turned $330,000 down. It was a 3-year contract per year. And I said no, because they could not tell me what I was going to be doing. Yes, I turned that down June 2018. And I turned it down again in August of 2018. The contract was up. My contract was up August 31st. They told me the night before Aretha Franklin's funeral when I was there that, hey, they were not going to do a deal. I said, no problem. I knew they were not going to also talk about my contribution. So I had already written a 2,500-word story breaking down what I did. We launched Roland Martin Unfiltered on September 4th, 2018. With 157,000 YouTube subscribers. If I look right now, we are sitting at 1,835,059. We're approaching 2 million. This was about, and I also launched it because Tom Joyner was retiring in December 2019. And I said, we've got to have a strong black owned media presence for the 2020 presidential election. And that was the case. And then we saw in 2024. What we're seeing right now, the absolute efforts to defund Black America, economically, civil rights, legal, everything, you have many folks in black-owned media who are silent. They're talking about hair and beauty and makeup and the latest Housewives show, the latest whatever the hell. We are not going to be able to build a thriving black America if we're so fixated on entertainment and sports and we don't cover anything else. So when I asked you to support the show, and I'm very clear, I said it, we're not sending hats and t-shirts and bumper stickers and coffees and mugs, stuff like that, because all that stuff costs money. The money reinvested right back into the show, because we need to be able to have the platforms to build and grow. So yeah, remember the 13-year-old kid, Noah, who I offered a show on the spot, the DNC? His dad asked for a crazy amount of money that I'm like, I can't pay that. Well, they announced yesterday they're doing a deal with iHeartRadio. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It was a part of iHeartRadio and the podcasting network that Angela Rye owns with Charlemagne. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Because we got to have multiple products out here. But understand, I'm still looking for a Gen Z. I'm still looking for Gen Alpha. Because we're not going to allow others to dictate how we move in the future. We have an opportunity to control our destiny. But you cannot control your destiny if you cannot control your community's economics, and if you cannot control your communication mediums. Here, we don't ask permission to talk about black people. We center black people. We don't ask someone, how long can we talk about black people? There's no asking of permission. And the only people, or the only entity that can cancel this show is God. Colbert got canceled. Other shows, Joy Reid got canceled because bosses made those decisions. There is only one boss here. And that's the difference between being an employee and being an owner. Support Roland Martin Unfiltered, the Black Star Network. If you want to join our Bring the Funk fan club, our goal is real simple: get 20,000 of our fans contributing on average $50 each a year. Can't do that, we totally understand. We appreciate anything that you could give. You can give more, it's great as well. Those 20,000 folks, if they give $50 a year, raises $1 million, which goes to offset our expenses here, which are $195,000 a month. You want to give you a Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. Cash App changed all of the rules, so therefore we don't have those accounts because they changed the rules. So use the Stripe QR code. You can use that QR code for credit cards as well. All y'all are watching on YouTube, hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all, because that impacts the algorithm. Checks and money order. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. Mailed to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2037-0196. PayPal R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo RM Unfiltered. Zelle Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Download the Black Star Network app, Apple phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. Of course, be sure to get my book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. Available at bookstores nationwide. Get the audio version I read on Audible. When you buy the book and buy the download, the money comes right back into the show, folks. Support Get Our Swag. Hats and t-shirts and mugs and all that good stuff. Go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. Don't blame me. I voted for the black woman.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.